When you think about specifically helping out in these foundations, what does it make you feel to be able to help them out? Is it something that really kind of gives you that giving back feeling, but also that feeling that I'm finally making a difference in people's lives by being involved in these organizations?
That's a good way to put it. I think you hit a certain age where you feel the need to have some impact, right? Life is all about you when you're young, and then you hit a certain age and you just feel the need to have some value and impact on the world around you. If these organizations didn't exist, I would have started them myself. And I'm very fortunate of the fact that both Simply Smiles and the David Lynch Foundation exist, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's great to be able to just step in, and when I'm able to actually have impact for these organizations and their programs and other programs in general, it just gives you finally that feeling of, just being a useful member of the world.
Right, and that's the key. I think that once you know that through your God-given talent that you have been given, now you can give back. I know everyone loves your music, but now you can do things that, if you were just a regular average Joe, you wouldn't be able to do. So I completely see that, where you wouldn't be able to kind of be able to help out these foundations and make sure that you're the voice for them. And GJ, that's the key thing about Simply G as well. Your success as an entrepreneur, G, has made you want to say, now I'm going to go and work with these organizations and really make a difference for people, right?
Well, absolutely. And then the other component is like a lot of organizations are struggling to raise money because of the way the economy is. And I think like an entrepreneur, because I am an entrepreneur, I'm like, okay, well, how do we get creative to raise money and actually do good and give back? And you touched on it, even if these organizations didn't exist, you would get involved and create one. And unfortunately, they are created. And so now you're able to use your platform and use your voice to, help facilitate, a cause and further the cause. And so, my way I look at things is just simply, how do we entrepreneurially raise money to do good? And so that's why I created the Mission G Foundation and to get involved in causes that, we're all involved in and believe in. And Neil's, happens to be one of the directors. And so I'm excited that you came on the show, and I'm excited that we can do more good, globally.
And that's great to hear, especially when you're talking about the entrepreneurial spirit, because I think a lot of organizations need to get away from the straight donation model, especially in an economy like today's. Generating income for projects or just it's not all about the money also, just being able to get the objectives done is something that comes more from a corporate entrepreneurial side, something that an entrepreneur or a CEO would take for granted that not-for-profits don't really have a lot of experience with. And it's not all about, the traditional fundraising model. There's something that has to be tweaked within, and they definitely need an organization like yours to help out with, even on a consulting basis, just come in and tweak infrastructure within, just so it doesn't have to be totally dependent on a fundraising model in order to get objectives done.
Well, absolutely.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, that's fine, G. No, he's saying definitely, absolutely. GJ is the business guy, and that's why I have him right at my side saying that we're going to take this to the next level, because what happens is a lot of times people don't have that voice. They're not able to come out and talk about their charity and foundation as a successful celebrity. A lot of times they'll want to talk about your music the entire time, and they want to talk about who you're dating, and they forget about one of the things, and that's why we created this show and created this segment, is to really give back and to really get people to be involved in this. So two things I wanted to touch base. One is I wanted to know where our listeners can find out more information on you, and that's the second question. But the first question is, we on this show set a 90-day challenge where every guest comes on to tell us what their goal is for the next 90 days, either in their career or their foundation or in their life in some ways. So what is your 90-day challenge, and then where can we find all the information so that our listeners can get involved in both organizations?
Wow, we have great timing with that question because it ties into both personal career-wise and with the foundation. I put out an album called Fit Kids, Happy Kids, Healthy Kids, geared towards parents and teachers, who teach the younger kids. And the purpose of the album was not just to raise funds for various programs, but also to address some of the health and educational concerns that parents and teachers are running into with kids, especially when it comes to, basic nutrition and exercise programs. There's another foundation which we could talk about in another show, that focuses on that. And so actually for the next quarter or so, the next 90 days, we're looking at driving more awareness of Fit Kids, Healthy Kids, Happy Kids, which is available on iTunes, is where most people are getting it. iTunes, as well as all other major retailers. And that one was on the first round ballot to be considered for this past Grammy Awards. We didn't make it to the nomination side, but just getting that far and having it recognized by other musicians is great enough just to raise awareness for the charities. And so for the next 90 days, I'm hoping awareness grows and more people check out Fit Kids, Healthy Kids, Happy Kids, and actually use it in their households and classrooms. One, I want that album out there. I want it to get more attention. And two, I want more awareness for the charities that album supports to grow as well.
Well, fantastic. And then again, your Twitter handle, websites to find out information on the other stuff as well.
Twitter handle is Anand Bhatt, ANandBhatt. And, of course, Facebook.com/Anand Bhatt Rock.
All right. Well, fantastic. It was awesome to have you on. I hope you stay on the line after the interview is over so we can touch base for a couple seconds so that GJ can get your information, see how he can help out in a lot of your causes, because that's what G does. He definitely does, and he's been helping out a lot of celebrities. So I appreciate you calling and look forward to having you back on in a couple months to talk about some of the other stuff that we were talking off air about. So take care now.
You bet.
All right. You're listening to the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment on the Total Tutor Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thousands of people a day are joining this hottest 90-day wait.